Okay, so it is today, what is the 22nd of May, Friday the 22nd, and it's been a hot minute since I have been on, doing one of these podcasts, because it's quite hard to find guests at the moment due to lockdown, considering that everyone's, busier with, household chores or whatever, and trying to stay sane and, stuff like that. However, I am back with
I lost sanity a long time ago.
with another episode of the Rather Late programme with Bash Dinsmore. You've just heard him. My guest on today's show is Joshua R. Pope. We first met on a film project for One Mind Media called The Beast, which was a sort of semi-horror-ish short film, which never finished completely because some people were dipping to do other projects early. Although I'm happy to say I finished my day on set. So let's actually say hi to Josh Pope and he can start talking. So, hi Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm doing alright considering the times we're in at the moment. God, I'm finding it very hard to sound professional.
Yeah, mad fucking times.
But yeah, it's very mad times. I remember that project. I thought you were Northern.
Thought I was Northern, you cheeky.
It turns out you were the only Scottish bloke there, and the others were actually actors, which I should have known.
That was for Skinwalker. Actually, that was the latest one. We met in 2017 on a project called The Beast, which was because there have been 3 Skinwalkers for the people listening. Number 1, Sam did back at school, and then number 2 was changed to The Beast, which was our first time meeting. And
which I got cut out of every single scene. I don't even know why I bothered turning up.
Oh man! But I'm gonna tell the viewers, the listeners at home, the story of my first thoughts of Josh, because this is fucking funny, and I'm not sure if Josh remembers. So from my point of view, I turned up to the director's house, and I knocked on the door, and Josh popped around the corner, and looked at me, looked up and down, and then said, "No, fuck off." And I was just like, hang on, I'm here to do, surely you'd open the door and check who I was. And so, Josh fucks off for a bit, and then I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I thought you were a cold caller, to be honest with you, at first.
A cold caller at the fucking front. Yeah, and he was like, "No, mate, no." And I was just like, what the fuck? So I texted Sam, and Sam came Sam came round, and apparently from what I've heard, it's you went back.
Sam left me to look after the house, and I didn't know who should come in and not.
But yeah, I messaged Sam, and Sam came to the door and opened the door. But from what I've heard, the conversation between the time Sam came to open the door and you saying no was you went back into the room full of actors saying there's some random Asian kid at the door. And I was just like, yo, that's not right.
I do remember. I do apologise. I do remember that. Yes.
Oh, little did he know. So that's how we met. We met on The Beast. And then years later, in 2019, we filmed a newer version. Josh was an extra compared to the main cast this time, but I was lucky enough to reprise my character just with a different name. It was
actually a what's it they called, a unnamed cameo more than anything.
Glorified cameo, glorified uncredited cameo. Uncredited.
I think my car was actually in the film more than I was.
Well, neither, because it was fucking cut, your sequence. Oh man!
After a 6-hour journey to
do fuck all.
Do makeup, and then I stood in a car park, pretended to have a conversation, and was cut. I think we were meant to have a fight scene.
Didn't fucking happen though, did it?
Weren't we, with the pub?
Yeah. But
we were meant to have a fight scene, but then it never happened, and it just don't get me started.
Anyway, so yeah, on that project, Skinwalker, the third version, the final version. I remember being on set one day with like all the extras. It was the only day we had any extras. Every other day was just the main cast, because it was a small chamber piece. But this first day with all the extras, and Josh was there to do his unglorified cameo. I'm sort of standing there, and he's talking to another main cast member called Scott James. Now, Scott James is a northerner. A northern.
He's doing very well, actually. He's a very good actor.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy, and I love Scott to bits. He's a legend. He's a great actor, an amazing stuntman, and just a good guy. He's sound. But anyway, like cut to this day with all the extras, and Josh is there just chatting away, and he's like, "Oh, how's it back up in Scotland?" to Scott, and I just like, hang on a minute, just because he's called Scott, that's not right.
I know, I thought they made him Scottish.
Yeah, I was like, just because his name's Scott does not make him a jock, you know, like.
You remember your reaction? You're like, hey.
I was like, I'm the only Scottish one here, man. Like, honest to fuck. I was like, yo, that's not right.
That's what the cast proceeded to laugh at.
Yes, the rest of the cast. Oh man, that was funny. Anyway, so let's get into our main topics for today. So, everyone at home, Josh, you are our Pope, is a actor and musician. At the moment, I'm quite sure he's more of a musician at the moment. He's doing a lot more music work than acting. Yeah. However, I met him as an actor, so I know him as an actor as well. And we've got plans to do future projects that involve him acting. So that's that. So we've briefly talked about The Beast. So I wanna talk to you about that. What was your opinions on that project? Did you enjoy working on it? Did you thought it was a waste of your fucking time?
Audience. What can I say on camera?
Oh, say what you fucking want, mate. Do what you want. I mean, as long as you're not threatening Sam, it's fine.
I'm not that much of a dick. I don't know why people think I automatically turn to violence. I enjoyed the project. I do feel like I was underused.
Sure.
I could have done stunts and that. I do my own stunts, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing stunts. I love doing fight scenes. I would love to have done a bit more. And I did feel a bit disappointed on the amount of effort I put in to make sure I was there and ready to work as a professional actor, made up, ready to go, in costume, and then I wasn't really used. So it did upset me a little bit, yeah, but that's the industry we're in, you know. It's not exactly their industry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
certain people get cut from projects, which is sad, but, you know, it happens.
It happens, yeah.
It was just a shame that this happened.
Size you are in the industry.
Yeah, it's just a shame that this happened to be not an amateur project, but you know, one where we weren't getting paid. We were
and I had to drive there and back.
We were helping out a mate, and you know, when we do that, we do it for free occasionally, and you know, it was just a shame that we did all the work for free, and then it's just like, if you get cut from that for no reward or no pay, you're just like...
And I never received my petrol money.
Never received your petrol money. Oh, man. Still bitter about that. Oh, so that was The Beast, and from what I can remember, it was... That
was the third film I did with Sam.
Yeah, because you worked on Union, didn't you?
Before that, I was in Civil War.
Union, yeah.
Union, that's it.
Yeah, I did not know Sam back then, so Union was a film school project.
And
yeah, no. So sorry. Hang on. I'll just explain the film. Union was a Civil War film for Sam's film school. From what I've heard about it, I didn't know Sam back then when he was filming that. I met him in 2017, in the early stages. I think I met him in February 2017. No, I met him in January, and then in February we started talking about working on The Beast. So, yeah. But I didn't work on Union. So what was your experience on that project?
Union was fun. Union, I met Will Richards, I think it is, who's another actor.
Uh-huh.
He's alright. I didn't personally like him at first. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I don't mind him. I do like him. I did get to like him in the end. And I met a guy called Alex.
Uh-huh.
As well, who was a great guy. Loved him. Was meant to grab a drink after film set, but things got complicated. And by things got complicated, I was already drunk by the time they were ready to come out. So, yeah, that never happened. But I'd love to work with both of them again. They were both very good. I know Will's done very well on West End and things like that lately.
Oh, good for him.
He did a tour of Cats and that. So I know he's done very well.
As long as he wasn't in the film, because that film was fucking scary to shit.
Yeah,
have you seen the animation, the CG? Fucking hell.
All I know is that they had to recall it, and the editor was like basically death threatening to change it.
Honest to fuck.
I've never really been a fan of Cats. As an actor, I probably shouldn't say that because it's meant to be an iconical film. I've never really.
McCavity, there's no one like
McCavity. I'm going to either say Mamma Mia or High School Musical.
High School fucking Musical, you got it. Let's go.
Sorry.
Flying.
I actually applied for the role of Zac Efron. No.
Fuck off. The role of Zac Efron, not even.
To be him instead of me.
Oh mate, honest to fuck. Zac Efron, not even Troy Bolton the character. You auditioned for Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. I wanted to be one up.
Oh, that's
I wanted the looks. I wanted the money.
Oh,
I wanted the girls.
Mad.
But it didn't. Unfortunately, I got hit with the ugly stick several times. Unfortunately, I'm taller than him because he's only a short ass. But other than that, that's all I've got on him. I think he's got about 6 mil on me.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, okay. So
yeah, that was a good film.
So you enjoyed Union, yeah?
I enjoyed Union. I ended up throwing some guy in it and hitting a friend of mine, Andreas Deval, who's not an actor but wanted to be an extra. So I got involved. And we had this breakable stick and this non-breakable stick, and I wasn't paying attention because I got so caught up in the fight scene that I picked up the wrong one and smacked the poor bloke. So that was quite funny.
Fucked it, mate. You fucked it.
It's acting. You're not meant to hurt him. I was like, I didn't know which one it was. Why would you put them next to each other?
Oh man. To be fair, true. Why would you put them next to each other without any labels? Fuck me.
That was an interesting one. And before that, I was in a smaller project which I think Sam has deleted now.
Yeah.
Called Red Hills.
Oh, I heard about that.
Which I really enjoyed doing. I played a psychopath called, I think it was Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald.
Ah. And I was the hard nut of the group, and I did my own scenes. I had to jump down this muddy hill.
Yeah.
And someone shouted action before Sam did because they thought it was funny. So I ended up having to do that stunt twice because I jumped down before the camera was rolling.
So what was Red Hill about?
Red Hill was about explorers that went to America and slowly got picked off by the Native Americans. It was one of my favourite films. I enjoyed doing that. I really enjoyed doing that. It was very amateur compared to the level Sam is working at now, because I know he's very grown as a film
director, yeah.
And producer. He's grown a lot and he's doing a lot bigger projects now. But that was probably the one I was most involved in and I really liked. I've done a few extra things for other big projects, but I've only ever been guy who gets thrown or guy that gets slapped in face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing really.
Little small bit parts. Fair enough. Moving past into the future, you've been on The Beast. Were you part of Home Fires? The
No,
war film, the song film, no?
I was meant to be, but as I said, I had a medical condition at the time, and
Sure.
I couldn't make it. I think that was the one I was meant to be part of. I had a close-up scene. Oh, I was at the beginning of Home Fires, I think, because you all landed on me, if you remember, because all you refused to... I'm not sure if that was with you.
I wasn't there.
When we filmed in a garage, basically. There was three of us. And
that was the trench, wasn't it?
To be me, the one that jumps last. So, like, you've got to jump first, and we're all going to jump onto you. I was like, why? They were like, well, because you're the biggest, so you're not going to jump onto us. Because it's not fair.
Fair dues.
Like, so
fair
why do I have to be jumped on? It's going to hurt. And then we did that about 4 times, and it was cut from the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
In Home Fires, because I was a main part of The Beast, and then I was unfortunately busy doing some other projects. I was doing a bit of theatre at the time, preparing for Macbeth as Macduff, and then I was working on my own films as well. So unfortunately at the time I couldn't commit as a main cast member, as an actor. But I said I'd compose the music for him, which eventually he said, it was just like the other producers weren't feeling it, which is fair enough. So he didn't use my music.
Scissors comes to mind.
So he didn't use my music, but then I ended up making various cameos here and there, so that was fun.
I think the next bit of acting work I did was actually with yourself.
Yes, we then worked on a project called Mortem, which has now been disbanded because I wasn't the director on that. I was the consulting director who was helping out a first-time director called Zane Sheikh, who is a mate of mine from uni. He gave up on the project like halfway through. The actress...
doing one coming out and doing a trailer.
Yeah.
And I was very happy with it. Was it Merlin, and I was the Lord of, what was it? The Realms or something. I can't remember the exact character's name.
Oh, what, the Inquisitor?
Inquisitor.
Yes, in my audio films.
This world, you have to get across.
Yes, in my audio films, the Seiken films and Protectors of Time coming up, Josh has voiced the Inquisitor countless times, and that'll be the role he will always portray in my projects for voice stuff. And he uses a posh upper class accent, an English accent, which is quite unique actually. It sounds very different to his normal voice, and when he is the Inquisitor, you can tell that he puts all the emotion.
You question one's power. You don't understand what it takes to come through this realm.
Yes, exactly. So you then portrayed the Inquisitor on a couple of projects of mine, and then we worked on the Mortem film for Zane, which was a live-action film, and Josh played the murderer, who had a name, I've forgotten it now.
Murdoch, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Murdoch, wasn't it? I don't know.
Murdoch? No, that's another character in the film, of Seiken, but I think it was either I've completely forgotten it. I wouldn't know off the top of my head. Anyway, so
that's the one I had to try and do the Scottish accent for, that I struggled with a little bit.
That was for another audio film called Thistle.
Yeah.
Not Mortem. Thistle was a Scottish audio film that I've put together. It's on YouTube. Go and check it out. You were called Hamish in that.
That was it.
And you did a...
I enjoyed that role. That was quite fun.
Well, you had to do a Scottish accent, but it was kind of not
Celtic more than Scottish.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were very Celtic-y, Irish-y, fucking, all around, instead of the particular Scottish from that area. I suppose you were more Highlander instead of Glaswegian or Edinburgh sort of place.
I do struggle with the Scottish accent, to be honest.
Well, yeah,
so I tell it apart from the Northerners, so
yeah.
I'm going to get like loads of hate for saying this now. They'll be like, we're different.
Yeah, we're different. There can be only one. But yeah, so that was Hamish on Thistle. Then you did Mortem, which was a live action where you played a murderer, and we had to chase you in a public park in Kingston. And you injured yourself on that film.
I jumped onto the wrong pit, missed the grass.
Yeah, he missed the grass, landed on some pavement, fucked himself. And basically, that put the film on hold, and because of the injury, but then during the time that the film was on hiatus because of his injury, the director Zane gave up on life and the project. He gives up on a lot of films, doesn't he? Yes. It wasn't my project, so I didn't want to continue without him because I didn't really care about it. I was just helping him out. The only thing I felt bad was the other actors and actresses had taken time out.
I was actually looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah.
I remember I actually got a speeding ticket coming up to yours.
Wanker.
So...
Oh, mate. But yeah, unfortunately that fell through because the actress gave up. Josh had his injury. Zane gave up directing, and I didn't really want to focus on that project at that current time. Yeah, which was a shame, but there we go. And then that was the last...
I'm going to look where I jump next time instead of just jump.
Yeah, probably a good show. But that's it in terms of acting projects that we've known each other for. Moving swiftly on to the next topic of music, because Josh is also a musician. Josh is a rapper, and he's working on on an album or a couple of singles.
I'm working on an album at the moment, but that won't be for a while because I'm going to try and get it done, produced in an actual studio, but no studios are open at the moment.
Sure.
I go by the name JP Bronson, which I got because I told my music was kind of aggressive, and I had I had the Bronson mustache at the time I started it.
Uh-huh.
So, I enjoy it. I've got a few songs out. I've got a SoundCloud if anybody would like to check it out. Self-promoting. People are going to think I'm a right dick.
Go for it.
Yeah,
promote your shit,
I've actually released a new song today.
Ooh, what's it called?
An American rapper called Khalid, which is on SoundCloud, and it's called Scars.
Scars, right. What's it about?
It's about pain of growing up and my stupid habit of how I used to express myself from self-harm, but until I realised I couldn't express myself the same way using my words.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, I'm not in much that one. If anyone wants to check out any of my music, I'd probably recommend Colder or Pain on My Mind. Pain on My Mind is about a friend of mine that committed suicide, and Colder is me thinking I sound like Drake, but we'll let everyone else be the judge of that.
Can I just ask, in terms of music, what did you do anything else? You play instruments, you sing, or is it just rap?
I do sing. A lot of people don't think it when they see my character, my portrayal as a rapper.
Yeah.
Like everyone has their character, like all these littles and all that, and everyone has their rap persona.
Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Shorty.
I saw the Unknown Little the other day, which made me absolutely. I found it hilarious, and like little goats and things like that. It's just like little baby, little virgin as well. It's like, come on, mate. Like, what do you want to be calling yourself?
Crazy.
Oh, and there's also one of my favourite rappers who's actually very good called Little Dicky, which I just think's hilarious. No fucks given there.
Oh, that's jokes, mate.
He's a great lyricist. I've worked with a few people in America. I do like to sing. I have a loving passion. I'm learning guitar at the moment.
Sure.
I I love writing country music.
Country roads take me home. Sorry.
She wants to get married, but she don't want to marry me.
Cool. So Josh does music, rap, and he's working on the album. What's your album going to be called, or is that private at the moment?
It's tattooed somewhere on my body, I will say, but I'm not going to say what it is yet.
Tattooed. Oh, fair enough.
I haven't got it tattooed on me.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then...
For legal reasons, that's not actually my quote, in case anyone sees this. Tries to be dick.
Oh, yo. Okay, moving on to the next topic. We have just discussed a film project called Feet in the Sand. Foot in the Sand?
Feet in the Sand.
Feet in the Sand. Which reminds me of the How I Met Your Mother song by Robin Sparkles. Sand castles in the sand.
Everybody's wondering why we were talking about that and why some of our favourite actors are from it, and how that is one of my... I would say one of the...
Oh, my favourite! One of my favourite shows ever is How I Met Your Mother.
Ever.
Gotta love it. Gotta love Neil Patrick Harris. He's my favourite in that.
If you're listening, Neil Patrick Harris, I'd love to work with you one day.
He's not going to be listening to my shit.
If you are, I would love to work with you, mate. I respect you as an actor.
Fucking yo.
Your portrayal of Barney is excellent, and also in that, was it the Fantastic Beasts and Mythical?
Oh, he's not in that, man. What are you talking about? That's Johnny
he's
Depp.
in that one where he plays the weirdo. I can't remember the name of the series now.
Oh, the series of unfortunate events. Series of unfortunate
he's also
events.
very good in that.
Yeah, no, he is.
That is very funny to watch.
Oh, I hope everyone knows he's never going to listen to this shit. Unless we put it on Twitter and make him listen to this.
Should we send it to him? Tag him in it.
We could do that. Oh, man. Anyways. Moving... Yeah, so talking about this script for the feature film of Feet in the Sand. Just tell everyone about the storyline and why you want to work on this project.
Well, I suffer with a lot of mental health myself, and so I understand the perception of mental health and how people can be perceived differently in that. But I just wanted to really write a film that kind of reflect mental health, but also give a sad story to what actually can happen to some people when they have deluded imagery and or a different perception. Basically, I don't want to give too much away. A guy falls in love.
Yeah.
He's been watched for a year by this other bloke. And it turns out, basically, he falls in love with a figment of his imagination. There's actually no one there that he's fallen in love with. When he finds out the news, it upsets him, and yeah. I don't want to give much away, but
it's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? It's going to be interesting. I'm actually quite intrigued to see how this goes, and whether we co-write it or you write it. It'll be interesting to see what the script turns out to be.
You'll have to help me co-write it because I'm rubbish with scripts. But
I will.
If I
will
write
help.
a 6-year-old storyboard and send it to you, you might be able to make a movie out of it.
For sure. I'll help you out in any way I can, mate. It should be fun. So, also, is there anything you're currently working on in terms of films or TV that's been postponed due to lockdown?
Not at the moment. I was meant to redo my acting portfolio, sort of show reel that and out, because I've only ever done much extra work. I was going to before this lockdown started, I was going to get back in the gym and completely change my physique.
Yeah.
And go for different roles. So...
Yeah, fair do.
I was going to do that as my path forward because I have some controversial tattoos that some people don't like and some people won't make up, so I'm going to have to go a different route of where they'll want my body rather than... You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I still get the work, but I meant to have all my headshots and that done, but just as I booked them, literally 3 days later, lockdown happened. I was just like, "Oh my god, come on, seriously!"
Yeah.
And then I moved during lockdown as well, which was the worst time. So I have no Wi-Fi or anything. I had to come back home to my mother's just to just about to do this interview actually and all that.
Yeah,
So
wait it out. It's a bit shit, innit? Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming to do the podcast because it's nice to have another person on board because it's been a while since I've had a guest, and I don't really do this by myself because there's nothing to talk about when you're just here.
well, anytime, mate. Anytime if I've got the signal, I'll do it.
For sure.
Maybe next time talk about my book or something. You know what I mean? Or something.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't really
Speaking of your book, why don't you plug that? What's it about? Talk about your book.
It's about it's about a child with autism who goes on a school trip and discovers a series of murders.
Right.
And has to solve them before he gets murdered himself.
Right, okay.
It should hopefully be released end of this year, beginning of next year. And all the money is going to go towards people with autism and special needs in the community.
Uh-huh. So, okay, that's cool.
It's called Jack's Adventure.
Jack's Adventure. Okay, cool. And where can people find that? On Amazon or?
Eventually it'll be on Amazon. Your local library will have a copy, things like that.
Nice.
So,
yeah, okay. And here's a question. How long does it take to write your book? Because writing a novel takes quite a long time, doesn't it?
It's the first book I've ever written. It took me just over a year and a half.
Bro.
And I've still not published it yet because I still want to do a few more tweaks.
It's crazy.
And I decided instead of typing it to write it all on paper, so I had to label all paper because the amount of times I got them confused and mixed up. And yeah, so
it's
but
crazy.
I like pen and paper.
I've spoken to a mate who's been on this show as part of a group called Peter, and he has written a book which is currently out, but we've both chatted, and oh man, compared to a screenplay or a teleplay, it's writing a novel is something different, isn't it? Because he says he could bang out a TV or a film script in a couple of weeks, and then this book has taken him years to get done. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
You've got to think about the plot, but then you've also got to describe the plot. It's not like a cinematic experience where you get to watch what's happening and the emotions of the actors play out the story for you. When you're writing a book, you have to write all those emotions and descriptions and facial expressions so the reader can then imagine it themselves.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I'm going to quickly ask you one question, and then we'll move on to a segment of hypotheticals. And then we'll move on to some fan questions, and then we'll wrap this up. So, firstly, why do we do this, man? I ask this to everyone who appears on this talk show podcast. We are in the type of industry that is so hard for us struggling actors and musicians and writers and directors and producers. Why do we do it? Why do you want to be a musician / actor? I mean,
honestly, it's the respect that I'm wanting. Really, I just want to be one of the greats. No,
bullshit.
No, it's because I enjoy doing it, and I feel like I can actually let a lot of my demons out.
Yeah, it's a passion, and it's a
when I'm portraying a different character, or singing a song, or writing a poem, I can let a little bit of pain out without it being in a destructive manner.
Yeah, for sure.
So, plus I wouldn't mind a house in Malibu without sounding vain, but we can all dream.
It's all for the money for you, isn't it? Oh,
money.
Yo. Okay, cool. So let's move on to some hypotheticals. And then we'll move on to the fan questions and we'll wrap this up. So okay, here's a good one. If you died and had to choose one place to haunt for the rest of eternity, where would you choose to haunt? Or who would you choose to haunt?
You can probably tell what I was thinking by my facial expression, but the fans can't see it. By haunt, what can you do?
Just scare the shit out of people, Be
okay,
I would ghost. Fuck about with a Ouija board or some shit.
I'd haunt a car lot.
Yeah.
every time someone thought about a new car and they'd like unlock it and it would just drive off on its own or something, and just like scare the shit out of people. Because that would like be really booky and really, really scare people.
Oh man.
Or you go to unlock your car and then it suddenly like reverses itself off your driveway. And you're just like, what the hell? Goes all the way up the road and round you several times, like doing donuts, and you just be like, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm gonna go get something else.
Oh man, crazy.
I don't car.
Okay, here's another one. If you could implant one false memory in the minds of everyone in your country, what would that memory be? Nope.
That my career was actually bigger than it probably will be.
Oh yeah, I feel that. I feel that on a primal level. I feel that on a primal level.
Like at a deep level.
Yeah, we're bigger than fucking Chris Hemsworth.
Me as an actor or a musician.
Bigger than Chris Hemsworth. Oh yeah, that's
a few months in the gym, and I'll give him an arm wrestle and we'll see who's bigger.
Hey, oh man. Okay, and one more hypothetical. What kind of TV show or movie would you make if money wasn't an object?
I'd make a sitcom.
Sitcom? About what? Would it be like Him Yim, or would it be 2.5 Men? What would you do a sitcom about?
I would make a sitcom with a deep story, but also a load of slapstick humour and just goofy puns and slogans for everybody to enjoy. Just a damn right funny show. As I said, I've always wanted to play a British guy in an American sitcom, so it'd probably be an American sitcom, and I'd be like, I don't know, it could be like Welcome to New England or something, and I could just be this like happy-go-lucky British guy who's trying to make it in America.
This is not England, this is a shithole.
Thinks it's good, and it's like could be out somewhere and be like, good afternoon, sir, I've had enough of you, and then he pulls a strap on you, like, well, good afternoon, I'll have the authorities to order on you, yes, and then they've all got guns as well.
Authorities on you. Oh man. Okay, cool. That's our hypotheticals for today. Let's go straight into some fan questions I've got up here. So, number one is from my boy John. Okay, he says JP Bronson versus Joshua R. Pope. Why would you have one name for your music career and one name for your acting career? Why not keep it under one title?
That's very interesting, and I have thought about that, but I'm a bit too late down the path with the music to change the name.
Right. So why wouldn't you change your acting to JP Bronson?
Because it's not my real name, and it's easier to find me on Google. If you actually type me in Google as Joshua R. Pope, I come up as an actor. My YouTube channel comes up, you know. My IMBD that you did comes up. So they're two different sides of me. I'm a book that's got two front covers, and they're both expressed in a different way. So that's why they're both different characters. It's like why do artists have stage names?
True.
So
I feel that. I've got a stage name. Okay. Okay. He's also put on a hypothetical on there, and I have to ask it because it's fucking funny. Oh, good old John McDonald. He says, so his question was JP Bronson versus Joshua R. Pope in terms of name and why you use one for music, one for acting. This one is saying JP Bronson versus Joshua R. Pope, who'd win in a fight.
Oh shit.
I mean, it's the same fucking person, just two sides of it.
I reckon Bronson would fuck Josh up. I reckon JPB would have him.
Just because he's a rapper.
Yeah, one of the boys a rapper, so yeah, and Josh is a bit more laid back. When I'm on the microphone, I'm a bit more fiery. So
oh man,
yeah, I reckon he'd beat Josh.
Oh, okay.
Probably rob him as well.
Probably rob him as well. You dirty bastard. Oh yeah.
Taking my own wallet.
Oh yeah, take your own wallet, put it out of your back pocket, and then put it in your other back pocket. Oh man. Okay, what has been your favourite acting project to date, whether it's been on stage or on screen?
Probably a very, very small role I did in a theatre show where I played a drunk, and I forgot to duck for the stage wings, and then ended up stacking it and had to kind of play it off as part of the act. Really hurt, I must add. But that was probably one of the funniest roles I did. It was one of the first things I did on stage in a while, and I completely forgot my lines and was stood there because I was injured. I had a car crash just previously, so I had 3 broken ribs.
Oh, man.
So I missed a load of the rehearsals, but I said I'd still be in it, and I stood there, and I had this one line where I had to shout at the mayor, and I'm stood there, and everyone's looking at me, and I'm going, "What are you all looking at me for? What are you all looking at me for?" Eventually, one of them went, "It's your line!" I was like, "Oh, shit." But luckily, the audience found it funny, so...
Okay. This is from my mate Ben. He says, do you prefer acting or music?
I prefer acting for the actual physicalness of it, the fun of it.
Yeah, being with other people, yeah.
Getting to meet more people and that. But then I like music. Music's just my way of getting things that need to be said.
Emotion, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, music's just my emotion. It's just like, I'm really actually emotional, baby, on the inside, so, you know. So.
Yeah, no, my background...
It was an excuse to get some cool tattoos as well.
Yeah. Fair enough, mate. My background's musical theatre. And as much as music was my first passion, I do think acting's much better for company and making mates.
Musicians aren't known for being very...
Yeah.
Well, like having many friends or anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah. This one is from my mate Josh, not you. He says, do you play any instruments?
I'm learning guitar, and I can play a mean pan and saucepan, especially for the NHS.
Oh, yes. Praise the NHS. Okay, this is from a writer mate of mine, Matthew Baker. He says, for you specifically, what do you think when bringing your next project to life? What is challenging about bringing the script to life? So when you're acting, what's most challenging about bringing what's on the page to your performance?
The fact that I'm dyslexic and I misread the words so many times,
that's
where it could say sarcastic, and I'll be like, are you being spastic or something? Like, completely opposite. I'm very, very, very bad at reading and writing. So I wrote a book. You know, that would be the hard bit.
Oh, man. Fair enough. This is from... this is from Jazir. If someone was going to make your life into a movie, into a film, who would you get to play you, and it can't be yourself? A film or a TV show, you don't have to limit those.
About me and
about your life.
How I am. Well, you can see what I look like at the moment. I've got bright purple hair and painted nails, and Crybaby written on the side of my neck. I'd probably have Russell Brand play me.
Russell Brand.
I'd have Russell Brand play
That
me.
would have been perfect, actually. Champagne casting. Russell Brand for Josh Pope. That was a good one. Moving onwards. Do you prefer voice work or live action acting?
Live action.
Live action. Stage or
screen? Voice work's very easy.
Yes.
But I do like live action, mainly because it's just an excuse to get out, you know.
It's funner, yeah.
More fun.
Stage or screen?
Screen.
What's your perfect Sunday afternoon? What's that looking like? Sunday roast, TV...
Nice bottle of red.
Yep.
A nice bit of dinner, not always a roast. I'm not a big roast fan, to be honest.
Oh, mad. I love a roast.
So, probably a steak or something.
Mad.
I don't know how modern our audience are, so I'm not going to say anything else. But a nice TV film, something funny to watch.
I guess what you're gonna say. Who
is it 4:20 already?
Huh?
Oh no, I thought it was 4:20. It's
no,
it's just
1 p.m. Who do you look up to as an actor, director, etc., etc.?
Oh, who do I look up to? Well, I look up to you for your directing work.
Oh, thanks, mate.
So, because you've done some good work, and I've listened to some of your things, and I've read some of your scripts. I've been in most of your work, so I respect you as a director and as a writer, especially a screenplay writer.
Hey, thanks. No, writing.
I meant to actually come see you on stage, but I didn't have a chance. All this stuff.
Yeah, no, especially with lockdown. Quick. However, once lockdown's done, I do have one more week up in Richmond, so I'll try and get you to come along. Yeah.
Yeah, I might come along just for the hell of it. It'd be funny.
Yes, I'm playing a Dublin Bosker from Ireland.
I'll try not to head you.
Cheeky fuck. Try not
You'll just stop halfway through your act and go, "Hey, security, get him the fuck off."
Yeah, get him the fuck out of here, that Brit bastard. Oh, yo.
Fucking British bastard.
Oh, mate.
As an actor, I love Neil Patrick Harris, as I've said.
Of course, yeah, NPH.
And I love Charlie Sheen.
Okay, yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, okay, cool.
As a writer, I can't quite remember the guy, but I like the guy that he's got a new TV series called Black as Fuck.
Black as Fuck. Oh, yo, I've heard about that, but I don't know his name.
He's really funny. He's a writer. He wrote loads of things, about black comedies and that. He's very good writer. I really do like his work. I'm really enjoying that TV series at the moment.
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Can't remember his name, but he's really good. And I can't remember the author, but I used to like the guy that wrote the Skullduggery books.
Oh yeah, Skullduggery. I like that.
I think he was underestimated as a writer.
Yeah, I liked the Skullduggery books. Who wrote that?
It was kind of like a more realistic Ghost Rider.
Yeah, true. Let's just have a quick look at who wrote those. Derek Landy.
That's it.
Derek Landy. Yeah, no, cool. That's most of the fan questions done. One more from. Okay, there's three more. One
I'm feeling quite popular.
One is what has been your favourite voice project to work on with Dinsmore Films? So you've done Seiken, Restoration,
Inquisitor, hands down.
Inquisitor. You like that character?
Inquisitor, I love the Inquisitor.
What is it about that guy with a different voice that you just enjoy portraying?
He's kind of a part of me that I feel on the inside, but a bit more of a older, relaxed, more tame, more mature liar.
Yes, he's
still
one
alive,
of the Eternals.
but he can actually control his rule.
Oh, he's one of the Eternals in my franchises. He's also going to branch out. I'm going to get you to play him in a show as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's in the Seiken films to sort of tell everyone what the fuck's happening and what's happening with the world. But then he'll appear in Protectors of Time season 3 for 8 episodes, so the first half of the season. And you'll appear in season 2, which will start recording in August. Season 2, you will be a guest star, and then season 3, I think we give you special appearance by status. Yes, special appearance by. Yeah, and you are sort of the character who sort of tells everyone what's going on with, the world. And there is actually a potential for a spin-off film about these group of peoples. These group of peoples are Eternals, but I'm gonna have to change the name because, of course, Marvel is using a film called Eternals. So, as much as I rip off Marvel, I
could
can't
see
just
that,
steal
and we'll have a
the name.
discussion. I know it's your project, but I actually had a little idea come to mind that
Nice
sounds quite good. It could be like a Battle of Gods sort of film.
It could be. Yeah, I haven't come up with the story yet, but there's going to be a story with all these Eternals. There's going to be my character, Pariah. There's going to be your character, the Inquisitor. There's going to be the villain in the film, the anti-Inquisitor.
I have an anti.
Yeah, so in season 3 of Protectors of Time, this voiceover show, there's going to be one of the crossover episodes where you get to play both the Inquisitor and the anti-Inquisitor. And the anti-Inquisitor...
I'll start coming up with a voice now.
Yeah, basically your posh voice is the Inquisitor, but the anti-Inquisitor is just a bit more deeper version of that. But yeah, I'll send you a link to try and copy a voice for the character. It's yeah.
You think that you can pass?
Oh, something like that. Yeah, that would work. The anti-Inquisitor is the dark evil version of the Inquisitor, even though the Inquisitor's like this all-foreseeing godlike character. Even though he's still a prick, he's a good person essentially. But the anti-Inquisitor...
Sounds like you're describing me. Is that how you describe me?
Yes.
He's actually a nice guy, but he will come across as a complete prick.
He's a prick, but he's good intentions.
Yeah.
Occasionally when he's not steaming. Yeah, so there'll be a project for that, and I'll get to work on that soon. And we can chat about that later. And then we have okay, so Inquisitor, nice one. Okay, what is it that you enjoyed about the Thistle films? That is from Hamish. Oh, we spoke about him earlier, actually. Huh.
We did. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a nice character.
Hard accent work.
I struggled with the accent a lot. I really did struggle with the accent. I came across more like Celtic Irish rather than Scottish. So
yeah. I'm planning on doing the third Thistle film soon.
The amount of times I watched Thingy to try and get that accent. That Disney film.
Oh, Brave. I fucking love that film.
The amount of times I watched it and was like copying the words, trying to get it, and I struggled with that. I do admit.
Oh, I do love a bit of Brave. That is one of my favourites, actually. Oh, that's mad. Okay, so that is that, Thistle. Oh, you bastard. He puts this every time. Okay. Say the honest truth. This is from Ryan. He says, what is your honest thoughts of Bash Dinsmore as a writer, director, producer, and actor, and musician? But you don't know me as a musician.
I have seen you compose a few things online. Because I've watched a few of your videos.
Good old IG.
I keep getting mentioned stories. It keeps coming up because of my new song. Scars by JP Bronson, which I'm going to drop again. Name drop, name drop, name drop. With I'm Khaled as well.
Cheeky plug, you cheeky fucker.
I'm using you as free advertising. Sorry, mate.
Free advertising. Yeah, I mean, yeah. For sure, go for it.
I like you writing. I've read the scripts.
That much on live action. It's mostly voice work.
I don't really know you as an actor. We've only ever worked like twice on set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Mm. Okay. Ignore me. I just got a text.
Oh, you just got a text. Oh.
A text. Someone's seen this. I think it's Neil Patrick Harris.
We haven't even released it and he's heard about it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. I want to be in that How I Met Your Mother movie. Sure. I'll get on the jet right away.
How I Met Your Mother movie.
I think there should be one.
There should be, but I don't think they're going to do it, man. I don't think they're going to do it.
They should.
Josh Radnor is focusing a lot more on music at the moment as well, actually.
Yeah, he's got an album, isn't he, or say?
Yeah. No, he's focusing a lot more on music rather than doing acting. But yeah, fair enough. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the last questions done. Just gotta move that window away. Okay, nice one. So, the last thing from me will be so the last thing from me will be go and check out Joshua R. Pope. Go check out his YouTube. Go check out the acting stuff that he does. Go follow him on social medias. What's your social media handles?
All over the bloody place. The best one to follow me is I do have a Joshua R. Pope page where I put my acting stuff, but I've not been very frequent on there. But the main place to follow me is at JP Bronson Instagram. That's where most of my content goes at the moment, because I've been focusing on, well, obviously there's no film sets or anything open at the moment, so I've just been doing music.
Yeah.
So be following me at JP Bronson on Instagram or Joshua R. Pope on Facebook and Twitter, but I can't get the hand of Twitter at the moment, to be honest with you. So I don't understand it properly. I'm a bit like a dinosaur when it comes to technology.
Fair dues. So go follow him on the socials. Go check out his work. And then go check out his music.
Whatever you feel like.
Yeah. Go check out his music work. His album, which is called...
I'm not going to tell you. It's still tattooed on me, but I'm still not going to tell you.
Oh yes, you haven't. Oh, okay. Yeah, and go listen to the songs that are already out, which are called...
I've got Pain in Mind, Faster, Foot on the Throttle, Scars, Crystal Tears. They're all mainly on SoundCloud. A few older ones on YouTube. I've got Cry, which is another feature with an American artist up and comer called I'm Khalid. He's really good. Khalid, he goes by. He's a really good artist. Great writer. And I hate how every time we do a track together, he...
Did you say Khalid? Is he? Yeah. Is he the guy who did Ruthless? The song Ruthless.
Might be.
There's a really damn tune that I'm listening to on repeat on YouTube.
He is quite big.
Yeah. Oh mate, it's mad. Anyway,
I've got him messaging me at the moment. I'll ask him in a minute.
fair dues. Yeah. Okay. So let's wrap this up, guys. It's almost at the hour mark on the podcast. It's 58.5 minutes. By the time I've finished rambling, it'll be an hour. So that is it from the Rather Late programme with Bash Dinsmore with guest Joshua R. Pope,
aka
JP Bronson.
Thank you, my friend.
Also known as JP Bronson. Yeah. So Josh, if there's anything you want to say now to the people, say it out before I wrap up.
Thank you very much for your questions. Very interesting. If anyone ever wants to ask me any questions or has any projects they'd be interested in, either me or Bash, maybe being involved or something. I don't know if you feel the same way, Bash.
Legend.
Just let us know.
Yeah, send us messages. I've got... Yeah.
You can probably find him easier than you can find me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll list all of our social medias down in the description below.
Didn't you know my Facebook's the one of me stood with the red coat on
That's
the beach,
it.
I think.
That's it. Yeah. So let's wrap this up.
Picture of me with $1 in my mouth for some reason.
Oh yeah. So I'll wrap this up quickly. Yeah. So you can find me on social media as Bash Dinsmore, at Bash Dinsmore on Insta, Twitter, and all that. Or you can follow the podcast page, which is at Rather Late Program with Bash Dinsmore, just the initials of that. Yeah, so that is it, people, and we will see you all next time. Bye bye.